Chapter 1. You want me to do what? This book and the journey I share within it were inspired by the business that changed my life. It is my testimony that trusting Him and following His lead will take you places beyond what you could have ever asked. I really did think that I was living my dream life. I had gone to school for what seemed like 100 years to get my master's, then doctorate degrees in anesthesia practice. I spent part of my week teaching for a doctor of nurse anesthesia program and others working with some of the best surgeons in the world. Every day, I came home to my high school sweetheart in the dream home I designed and snuggled with 2 healthy kids that God blessed us with. Cue the dreamy music. What I didn't realize was that God knew better than I did. He knew my longing and my discontent before I could recognize them. And He sent me a solution even before I was ready or even looking. I had no business starting a business. My life was already full. My family kept me busy, and when I wasn't teaching or in surgery, I traveled the country speaking at anesthesia seminars. Did I mention that I was finishing my doctorate research and completing twice the credit load to wrap up my latest degree? Yikes! Why in the world would I start an online business now? And why would it focus on skincare? I wasn't even washing my face. That, my friend, is how I knew it was from God. The whole thing seemed crazy, so out of character. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. Conversations and the content on my social feed kept urging me to look into it more. This decision would catalyze my true divine calling, delivering the God wings you might need right now. After reluctantly saying yes to starting my own online skincare business, things began to change. Within 6 months, I was making enough money from my side gig to cut back to the hospital 1 day every week. This was huge because my daughter Layton was 4, and I would get a special day every week before she started kindergarten. And this would be time I would never get back. Before taking on my professor role, I worked only 3 days a week. That meant I got to be a mom to my oldest son, Corin, 4 days a week. We had the best time together, and I loved being there for him and teaching him all kinds of things. But while I loved my role as a mom, I also need professional challenges to be fully, truly fulfilled. That's why I decided to take on the role of professor and give up my schedule for a full 5-day work week. I'll never forget the day I sat in his first grade classroom, the year my schedule changed. He was struggling with reading. He had been ahead before he started kindergarten, and now that I wasn't around as much, he was falling behind. I fought back the tears. Am I failing him? Am I selfish? Do I really have to choose between being a present mom and wife and feeling challenged and fulfilled? It appeared so. Starting my business a few years after that day gave me the chance to keep what fulfilled me and create a more balanced schedule to show up more as a mom. I was ecstatic. My joy was partially due to the fact that I could be a mom when I wanted to be, but even more, I finally saw that the and life was possible. It didn't have to be a choice between fulfillment or motherhood. I could have both. God saw me in my struggles. He saw me rushing into the daycare parking lot right before closing. He saw me at my desk while my husband Andy spent summer days in the pool with the kids without me because of his teaching schedule. He saw better before I ever even saw the problem. He saw a life that would allow me to make a much bigger impact for the kingdom, both out in the world and in my own home. Now, I would love to tell you that once I made the realization, I immediately rode off into the sunset as a full-time entrepreneur, but I didn't. I was much too chicken. God is not only patient with us, He uses our wilderness season to equip us too. Remember, friend, what is for us will find us if we keep our eyes on God.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.